Welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's jump straight into it. If you're here, you probably have a houseplant that's gone weeks or honestly, maybe even months without pushing out a single new leaf. And look, I totally want to validate that frustration right out of the gate. You water it, you stare at it, maybe you even sing to it, hoping for a tiny new sprout, and just nothing happens. It is incredibly annoying. But here's the really good news. A lack of growth isn't some unsolvable mystery. It's actually just a puzzle.
See, when a plant is completely stuck in neutral like this, it's actually actively communicating with you. A lack of growth literally means your plant is missing a crucial ingredient that it absolutely needs to thrive. It's hit the pause button. So our job today is to put on our botanical detective hats and diagnose exactly what's holding it back based on the very clear signs it's giving us.
So here's our roadmap for the explainer today. We're going to start by stepping inside the plant factory. Then we'll cover fixing light and water, troubleshoot nutrients and root space, look at normal pauses in growth, and wrap things up with some best practices for thriving plants.
Okay, Section 1, Inside the Plant Factory.
To really diagnose what's going wrong, I want you to completely change how you look at your potted friend. Think of your houseplant as a biological factory. And to run this factory and pump out new leaves and stems, it needs 3 absolutely non-negotiable inputs. Number 1, energy, which primarily comes from light via photosynthesis. Number 2, raw materials. We're talking water and soil nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus. And number 3, space. Specifically, the room for its roots to actually expand and gather those materials. If your factory is shut down, I guarantee you, one of these 3 things is missing.
Let's do a really quick diagnostic check to map out your symptoms. If your plant has leggy, stretched out stems and it's sitting in a dark corner, well, the cause is likely a lack of light. If you're seeing pale or yellowing leaves and it's been in the exact same pot for over a year, you should probably think nutrient deficiency. If the soil dries out incredibly fast after watering, it might be rootbound. Now, wilting or spots combined with either bone dry or completely soggy soil, that points straight to improper watering. And hey, if it's fall or winter and the plant looks totally healthy otherwise, it might just be going through a natural dormancy.
Moving on to Section 2, Fixing Light and Water. Let's tackle the energy and operational functions of our factory.
Right, so cause number 1, not enough light. I cannot stress this enough, this is the absolute most common reason for stunted growth. Light is literally the fuel for your plant's engine. Without enough of it, the plant just can't photosynthesize properly to create the energy required for new leaves. It doesn't drop dead immediately, it just kind of freezes in time. It maintains its current state, usually looking a bit washed out and leggy.
The fix here is super straightforward. Give that engine more fuel. Move the plant to a brighter spot. The vast majority of houseplants thrive in bright, indirect light. An east-facing window is usually the absolute gold standard for this. Or pulling the plant just a few feet back from a really harsh south or west-facing window works wonders too. And listen, if your home just doesn't get good natural sunlight, don't sweat it. You can easily supplement your setup with a basic LED grow light. Next up is improper watering, which actually halts growth from 2 totally different directions. Underwatering creates a constantly thirsty, highly stressed plant. It reroutes every ounce of its energy into mere survival, so obviously there's nothing left for growth. Overwatering, on the flip side, is actually way more dangerous. It literally suffocates the roots and leads to root rot. That destroys the plant's physical ability to absorb the water and nutrients that are sitting right there in the soil. To fix this, you've got to find that Goldilocks zone. Adopt a consistent schedule, but, and this is key, don't just water on a Tuesday simply because it's Tuesday. You should water thoroughly only when the top 1 to 2 inches of the soil actually feel dry to the touch. And critically, you have to make sure your pot has good drainage holes. Excess water needs an escape route to prevent that dreaded root rot. Section 3, Nutrients and Root Space. So what happens when the factory pantry is empty, or the building itself is just too cramped? This brings us to cause number 2, nutrient deficiency. It is so incredibly easy to forget that potting soil is finite. After a plant has been sitting in the exact same soil for about a year, it has essentially eaten everything available. The pantry is bare. Those essential minerals are just gone. Without those raw materials, the plant cannot build new cellular structures. And that's exactly why you end up with those pale, sad-looking leaves and absolutely zero upward growth. So how do we restock the pantry? Well, during the active growing seasons, spring and summer, you need to feed your plant. Grab a balanced liquid fertilizer, but here is a massive pro tip. Dilute it to half strength. That prevents chemical burns on the roots. Apply that every 2 to 4 weeks.
Now, while that's a great short-term boost, the best long-term fix to replenish those materials is a full repotting into fresh, nutrient-rich soil. Speaking of repotting, we have to talk about physical space, which leads to cause number 3, being rootbound. When a plant's roots have completely filled its pot, they form this incredibly dense, tangled web. There is zero physical space left for them to expand. And worse, because the roots have taken over basically the whole pot, there is hardly any soil left to actually hold on to water and nutrients. The plant is quite literally choking itself. A huge giveaway? If you water your plant and the water immediately rushes straight out the bottom, your plant is likely rootbound.
If you check the roots and see that crazy webbing, it's definitely time for a new home. But caution here, do not put it in a massive pot. Choose a new container that is only 1 to 2 inches wider in diameter than the current one. Slide the plant out and gently, very gently, loosen the bottom of that tangled root ball with your fingers. This lets the roots know they are finally allowed to spread out. Then just place it in the new pot with some fresh soil.
Section 4. Normal pauses in growth. Okay, everyone, take a deep breath. We're moving into the scenarios where your plant isn't growing and it is absolutely 100% not your fault.
Let's look at a completely natural phenomenon, dormancy. Just like bears hibernate, most houseplants naturally slow down or just completely stop growing altogether during the shorter, darker, and cooler days of fall and winter. We're talking generally October through February. This is a biological factory reset. They are simply resting and conserving their energy so they can explode with new growth the second spring arrives.
So what's the fix for a dormant plant? Doing absolutely nothing. Seriously, put the watering can down and back away slowly. You just need to let your plant rest. You'll want to reduce your watering frequency pretty significantly because the plant just isn't using as much fuel. And you should completely stop fertilizing until you see the days getting longer and those fresh signs of life emerging in the spring.
The final, totally normal pause in our top 6 causes is the acclimation period. Look, moving is highly stressful for humans, right? Well, it is incredibly stressful for plants too. When you bring a new plant home from a perfectly climate-controlled nursery, it is suddenly thrust into a totally alien environment. New light levels, different temperatures, completely different humidity. For the first several weeks, or sometimes even up to 2 months, the plant is focusing all of its energy strictly below the soil. It's just trying to adjust its root system to survive this new place. It simply does not have the bandwidth to push out new leaves yet.
The fix here really just requires a bit of restraint. Be patient. Provide the plant with really good, bright, indirect light, but whatever you do, avoid throwing extra stressors at it. Don't repot it right away, don't dump fertilizer on it. Just let the poor thing settle in and get used to its new home.
Section 5. Best practices for thriving plants. Let's wrap up this explainer by condensing everything down into some core rules.
Here are your major takeaways to keep that factory running smoothly year-round. First, and definitely foremost, light is the single most important factor for vigorous plant growth. Never underestimate it. Second, treat fertilizer like a vitamin supplement during the spring and summer to replenish those raw materials. Third, aim to repot your plants every 1 to 2 years to provide essential space and fresh soil. And finally, always remember that you cannot force a plant to grow faster than its natural rate. Consistent, steady growth is the ultimate marker of a healthy plant factory.
I really want to leave you with this thought today. Plants operate on their own timeline. Don't panic if growth isn't explosive. In a world where we're so used to instant results, houseplants are honestly a wonderful lesson in patience. Observe them, diagnose them when they need help, but give them the grace to just grow at their own pace.
So here is what I want you to do. Go look at that stubborn houseplant right now. Look at its location, physically feel the top of its soil, and check the bottom of the pot. Ask yourself, which essential element is missing from your plant's factory today? Find that missing piece, make the fix, and watch your plant thrive again. Thanks so much for learning with me today on this explainer, and hey, happy growing!